Hey there, before this video begins, I just wanted to state that, first of all, I'm lowering my mic uh, decibels down a little bit so we don't hit that red zone, but the second thing, that's a little hot in my room, and I have my fan on. So, if it's really bad, then this video is not coming out on Friday, because the audio will be bad. But just giving you a fair warning, you might hear a fan in the background. The second thing is that this video might be taken down and re-uploaded because there's a weird thing going on with my DaVinci where the music on YouTube, like my background music, is a lot louder on YouTube than it is in OBS. So thank you for understanding, or you know what, maybe I just won't. You tell me down below if I really need to turn down the music, then I'll re-upload the video with adjusted music. But yeah, please enjoy the video, and if you're from the original, welcome back. Story starts in a time long before most, when Ash was a few months old. Ash's Ketchum father is preparing to leave for his Pokemon journey, the second one at the very least. However, as he goes to tell his newlywed wife, he receives a massive headache. He was going to abandon her with a newborn baby? Oh, hell no. Delia Ketchum was not about to be a widow at the age of 19. Yeah, no. Delia grabbed this man by the ear and nearly yanked it off. And thus, Ash's father, Dad Ketchum as we will call him, had not died in a random ditch somewhere in Kanto like what likely happened in canon. This massively changes things for the better. Not only is Delia having an easier life, well, she's cooking for 3 people now, but ignoring that, Ash has more experience. His dad will be there to teach him things that he didn't in canon. Not exactly the best experience, but it's experience. Growing up, Ash would learn how to actually catch Pokemon, various type matchups, though not all of them, as he wouldn't be able to experience all of them. For example, his dad is very unlikely to have run into a Steel type or a Fairy type. And he'd learn how to enter the league he was watching literally the night before his journey. Unlike in canon. Pretty crazy how that works, isn't it? Dad Ketchum is a very complicated character to write. We really don't know anything about him in canon, aside from the fact that he had a Rapidash, and that it took him a week to get to Viridian City. I may have missed some other information. Do tell if there's any official source down below in the comments if I did. However, to my knowledge, that's it. And he's never mentioned more than 2 or 3 times throughout the franchise. So, in this story, here's what we're going to say. Dad Ketchum is a 30-year-old man by the time Ash is 10 who didn't make it to the Pokemon. Dad Ketchum goes through 6 out of the 8 gym badges by the time the Pokemon League had come around originally, and by originally, I mean himself. And instead of continuing his journey, he decided to just live with his Pokemon and, of course, his eventual wife, of which Dad Ketchum had 4 of them. 4 Pokemon. 4 Pokemon, not 4 wives. 4 Pokemon. He didn't have 4 wives. He had 4 Pokemon. A Rapidash, Tauros, Growlithe, and Farfetch'd. You know the theme? You know the theme. And just because of how badly I wrote that down, I'm gonna keep that in here. If you want me to leave these out, let me know and I'll do it in the future. But I thought that was really funny. Approaching Ash's 9th birthday, his dad realizes he hasn't really done much for Ash, and thus he leaves for a couple months on a journey. And when he comes back, he refuses to tell them what the purpose of his journey was, even though he was gone for a couple of months, but he tells them that it went better than it was supposed to. And thus, Ash doesn't learn, for another year, what the purpose of this journey his father went on was. On the day of Ash's 10th birthday, however, Ash comes upon a realization that he indeed woke up late. This is because the father and son are both naive and like to sleep in, and since Dad was supposed to wake up his son in time to go get his Pokemon, Delia chews him out as well. But that's okay. Dad Ketchum is big brain, and he had a plan. A big plan. So, Dad Ketchum, as we're going to call him, takes Ash up to Professor Oak's house after changing, because he doesn't want his son going out in his pajamas, where Gary leaves a note to antagonize Ash. This makes Ash angry, but his dad tells him to calm down. Oak and Dad Ketchum would lead Ash into the lab and hand him a Pokeball. This Pokemon was something Dad Ketchum, who we will now just call Dad, just found on his journey a couple of months ago when he turned 9. It was for Ash, but Oak had to study the Pokemon just in case he never got the chance again. Out of the Pokeball came a majestic Pokemon, a beautiful Ponyta with a beautiful blue flame covering its body. Ash is amazed at this Pokemon. He'd never seen a Ponyta, let alone a blue flamed Ponyta before, only a Rapidash. That's where Professor Oak would explain this is a shiny Pokemon, and that they were extremely rare, even among common Pokemon, Pidgey or Adam. Ash was ecstatic to have such a rare Pokemon, and his dad was happy he was lucky enough to find it in his Pokemon journey. Ash's Ponyta was quiet yet brave and bold Pokemon, who wasn't comfortable with being touched. So she was tamed, she would let her trainer do so without problems, to a certain extent, of course. She was also a bit spoiled and pampered, so she expects to be treated like a princess when they're on their breaks. Ash made his way onto Route 1 after receiving his starter supplies and took a look around. Ash had a conflict immediately. On one hand, he wanted to capture a lot of Pokemon, and yeah, it was good to have lots of Pokemon, because you have a lot of answers for a lot of various situations. But on the other hand, more Pokemon means more split training. It was something he had to think about. And he was walking around, however, all he saw were Pidgeys, really. But a Pidgey was better than no Pokemon. Ash knew quite well what a Pidgey was, and he decided that he should battle the said Pokemon. After all, gotta start somewhere. Sending out his Ponyta to charge the Pidgey, Ash commanded that Ponyta would use Ember to attack the bird. Ponyta, however, missed the attack, causing bird Pokemon to fly away in fear. Ash was bewildered, but put it up to bad luck. We all have our bad embers. Sort of. So, he tried again on a Rattata, where the same thing happened. He then tried on a Sandshrew. It happened again. 3 times the charm, but also 3 times the failure. Ash had come to the conclusion that Ponyta's aim was quite poor, to say the least. Ash also realized that this would have to be a thing he trained on, and was pretty sure that whoever got Charmandered did not have to deal with this. A little unfair, but he supposed that's the consequences for getting such a rare and spoiled Pokemon. As Ash was going through the fields of Route 1, he saw another bird, much more fat, round bird. This bird was a rare Pokemon around here, and he did not quite remember due to how little he saw it. After checking his Pokedex, though, he saw that it was a Starly, a Pokemon from the Sinnoh region mostly. It was on the other side of the mountains, opposite of Johto. Whereas Johto was right next to them, Sinnoh was above them. So that made sense why they'd migrate over here a little bit. Ash decided that this one would not get away, however. He was going to have at least one more Pokemon before he left Route 1. Ash had Ponyta run forward and use Stomp on the bird Pokemon. Ponyta's foot slammed down on the bird, which was caught very off guard. At point blank range, Ponyta then used Ember, doing heavy damage. Ash then threw a Pokeball and caught the said bird Pokemon, securing his first capture. Ash and Ponyta were quite happy in securing this Pokemon, and gladly introduced Starly to the group of, well, a group of 3 now. It was just a duo before. Now it's a group. They would be good friends. We know that much for certain. Yeah, good friends. Thank you for watching. This What If is quite different from the previous series, but I think it's better than before, personally. But I also think it's more creative. I picked Ponyta due to Ash's dad, and I made it shine because it'd be more interesting. In the last series, people said I should update the cancel Pokemon, and by that I mean like update the Pokemon you find in the region. And a lot of people like Starly, so I figured it was a good choice. As you can also tell, the series is going to be slower than the last one. Just more detail, more character development, you know? I think I did that okay in the last series, but yeah. And I'm not gonna get burnt out like last time. If I need to take a break to make sure the series has good quality, that's the right word I'm looking for, then it will. That's what we'll do. We'll take a break. It doesn't matter if it takes 3 months to get part 7 after part 6. We will take those 3 months so that this story is good. So, thank all of you for watching, especially all of you who came from the original series. Love y'all. I'll catch you next time.